Shalom. This week's Sedra is Sedrat KiTisah. In this week's Sedra, we are introduced to Moshe's servant, Yehoshua. God would speak to Moshe face to face, as a man would speak to his friend. He would return to the camp, but his attendant Yehoshua, the son of Nun, a nar, a lad, would not depart from the tent. The Ramban didn't understand the description of Yehoshua as a nar, a lad. At this point in the Torah story, Yehoshua would be at least 50. The Ramban asked how a 50-year-old could be called a nar. The Ramban explained that the Torah calls all people that assist other people a nar, a lad. Yehoshua spent his entire life, all his energy and resources, helping Moshe. Earlier in the Torah, we were introduced to Yosef as a nar. These are the descendants of Yaakov. At 17 years of age, Yosef tended the flocks with his brothers, as a nar to the sons of his father's wife, Bilhah and Zilpah. And Yosef brought the reports of them to their father. In this instance, we find a debate between our scholars as to the connotations of the word nar. Rashi maintained that the word nar meant a young lad, and Yosef was described this way because he was immature. The Radak, among others, understood nar as a helper. Yosef was described as a helper because he helped the children of Bilhah and Zilpah. Rashi's explanation of the nar as an immature lad led to the Ramban questioning Yehoshua being described as a nar. The Radak's explanation of nar as a helper led to the Ramban's answer as to why Yehoshua was called a nar, for he helped Moshe. There are plenty of words in biblical Hebrew that have two meanings. The word nar is just one example. The two meanings of the word nar are related, and both apply to Yosef and Yehoshua. An assistant who helps someone connects them to that person, and although he's the one helping them out, he still creates a dependency on the person he is helping. Being dependent on someone else is a sign of immaturity, insofar as that you're not independent and fully developed as your own person. Yosef was both a helper to Bilhah and Zilpah's children, but was also dependent on them. In this week's Sedra, Yehoshua was called a nar because he was Moshe's assistant, but was also dependent on Moshe. To fully develop as a perfected human being, a person needs to grow into an independent individual. He needs to transition out of his dependent relationships and no longer characterize himself as an assistant to someone else. At this point in Jewish history, Yehoshua had yet to develop into his own independent person, and therefore was called a nar. Shabbat Shalom.